Hello, this is Melissa King. Welcome back to my channel. We are back for another money decision story times. I'm so proud of myself, you guys, because I'm trying to be consistent with putting information on my channel. So this is my second story time video. Like I said before, some of my experiences money-wise have been good, some have been not so good. So the story I want to share with you today is, what's the title? Oh, it pays to check yourself before someone else checks you. But before we start that storyline, let's hear from our sponsor, Ty and Nye Associates. Ty and Nye Essentials. Look over me, guys. All right. You thought we was playing. We not playing. Tie Night Essentials is my daughter and my business associate Tony Clopton's daughter. The girls started their own hand sanitizing business at ages 10 and 12. You can see the ticker below for information on how to order their products. They come in 2-ounce, 10-ounce, and 1-gallon sizes. So go to www.tieandnightessentials.com to order your products today. Now, back to the story. Today's story is, I don't necessarily come out in a negative light on this story, but it is a story that's like a cautionary tale to tell people to be careful of this. Okay, today's story is about when I got ready to move from Columbia, South Carolina, down to the Miami, Fort Lauderdale area. So I'm the type of person, I'm usually, I don't know how to describe it. I can be impulsive, meaning I can just up and decide to do something, but I'm still always what I consider a planner because I've always got it plotted in my mind. Okay, this is how this is going to go. We're going to get up at this time. We're going to leave at this time. We're going to do boom, boom, bam, bam. So I decided to pick a weekend. And at the time, I had a job where I was traveling Monday through Friday, so I was only living in Columbia on the weekends. So the weekends was my only time to look for somewhere to move to down in that area. So I decided that when I got off on Friday, I would come home and go to bed early, get up extra early, like 2 in the morning or something like that Saturday morning, and head down to South Florida to look for some places. I had gone online, did my research, saw how far each one of the places were from my upcoming job assignment. So I had a couple of places outlined in Miami, a few other places in the Fort Lauderdale area that I was going to look at. So I had done all of my preparatory thing, gassed up the car. My plan was, and y'all look over me because, like I said, I can be impulsive. My plan was to get up at 2 in the morning, drive down to South Florida, which was how long was that drive? I want to say coming from Columbia, South Carolina to Miami was about 13 hours. I am not exactly sure. Anywhere between 10 and 13. I don't know. But anyway, I wasn't by myself. I had a friend that was riding along with me. And she was going to help me drive. And I could have flown down, but I wanted to go ahead and do it. I didn't want to book a flight. I wanted to just get in the car, go down there, check it out, come on back, and, have Sunday to rest before I go back back to my job on Monday. So anyway, in my preparation for the trip, one of the things I decided to do was to pull my own credit report. I wasn't sure which agency they were going with, so I went ahead and paid to have all 3 reports pulled. So, I'm sitting there, I'm looking at my report. I've had this job where I've been working really hard to correct my credit situation. So I've paid off some bills. I've been trying to be on time with everything. So I knew my credit should be better than it was, because prior to me putting this work in, and that's a whole nother story time, I went to purchase a car and my credit was at 591. Well, I didn't even know where the credit range started and ended. So at that time, I didn't realize 591 was a bad score. Once I figured that out, that was when I really got busy trying to change up, my spending habits, making sure I was tying up loose ends from things that were hanging out there that needed to be paid off. So I have been really diligent about paying those things and working on this. So, I'm feeling good. I'm like, it's not going to be perfect, but I know it's better than it was, because I had been working on this for about 2 years. So, pull my credit report, and I start seeing like all of this bad information on my, I want to say, I don't remember whether it was Equifax or Experian. It was one of those two. Because like I said, I pulled out three. There are three agencies. There's Equifax, there's TransUnion, and Experian. So either Experian or Equifax, I get to looking down the information and I see an address. I see my name, but I see an address of somewhere I have never lived. So I keep going. I see something about a foreclosure on a home. I've never owned a home. So my heart is like racing. I'm like, oh my God, where is this information coming from? So, I checked the other two reports and they didn't have this information on there like this particular one is. But the problem is, I was not sure which agency the apartments that I was going to visit were going to use to do their credit check. So of course, I'm in panic mode. So it's before 5 o'clock. It's still business hours. So I called whichever credit company it was, and I talked to the person on the phone. I'm frantic. I'm telling her, tomorrow I'm going to look at apartments. I'm going to be filling out applications. The information on my credit is not correct. So she proceeded to go down through the report with me, and I told her what was mine and what wasn't mine. Um, I verified the addresses that I had lived at before. Now, mind you, I had moved around a lot, but I had never lived in Tennessee. I think Tennessee was the state that they had on there, and I want to say Kentucky was another state. And I'm like, I've never lived in those states. So after going through line by line, we were able to she was able to put notes in or whatever. But here's the problem. This is Friday evening at 5, close to 5 o'clock. When I go to the apartments to fill out the applications tomorrow, she couldn't guarantee me that this information would be corrected. So she just advised me to let them know, ask prior to filling out the application who they use for their credit checks. If it was, I want to say it was Experian, I'm not sure. But if it was Experian, explain to them what had happened. So, here I am feeling like, okay, I've done all this hard work and I'm not even really sure what the credit score is now for that particular, credit source, because the information on there is wrong, and the bad information that was on there was not all good information. Some of it was negative, which would have lowered my score. So long story short, made the trip, went to 4 different apartment complexes. I think 2 of the 4 did use that credit source as a reference for a credit score. I explained the situation. I was able to get the apartment. I didn't have any issues. The information was removed from my credit report. But the lesson from this story is check your credit report often. That was not anything negative that I had done for this particular situation. But had I not discovered this, and I hate I waited to the last minute to check it, but I did check it. But had I not discovered this prior to going down there, who knows how that could have gone? It could have been a situation where I was turned down for those particular apartments based on somebody else's credit score. So I just want you to know the credit reporting agencies are not perfect either. They can have mistakes on them as well. That's why they tell you to check your credit, check it often. I belong to one of those credit clubs, I guess you would call it. Like Experian has their own um credit club where you can pay a monthly fee and pull your credit report at any time. But you do not have to do that. Once a year, um, the credit reporting agencies are supposed to give you one free credit report a year. Um, Outside of the free one, last I checked, I want to say it was like $13.99 to get a copy of your credit score. I'm not sure what it is. Like I said, I have that membership, so I can check mine at any time, and because I pay a monthly fee. Because after that happened, that was when I actually joined, and this was back in 2008 when I was getting ready to move to Florida. So I actually joined because of that situation. I wanted to be able to pull up my credit at any time and make sure nothing disparaging was on there, and I've done that ever since 2008. And I've pulled up my score at least, I won't say I've done all three every month, but at least 2 or 3 times a year, I do all three. So that's just my advice to you. Check your credit yourself before somebody else checks it, because credit rules the world. A negative credit score, or especially if you've not done nothing wrong, can severely sabotage whatever you're trying to do. So that's my advice. Thanks for joining me for this story time, and I will see you guys next time.